Ultra Commander's the name, but everyone calls me the King of the Beasts. It's a thing.
Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and this is the last of the Tobot V Season 2 Minis individual characters. Mini Ultra Commander, aka Ultra Commander. Yep, that's very English. That is a very English name that every kid can understand. It's the widest of the mini boxes in this line so far. A yellow-orange main color. Side view, the other side view, the name, the same back view style, halftones, action lines, shell shading, vehicle robot, July of 2021. And the vehicle mode is more painted and spruced up than what is on the actual toy. Do you think this $10 toy could afford extra green paint? Uh-oh. Just falling apart. I'm just gonna start with the size comparisons first because Ultra Commander is an ultra-sized bot. And he's rather short, like a short deluxe, and just short as the other Tobot minis because it has to keep the consistent size. So this is quite out of scale. Maybe it scales with the smaller Legends class, but not in the general Generations class. Yeah, I knew what it was getting into, but I want this Ultra Commander to fit with this. But this doesn't work. So I got the original Ultra Commander. I ordered this alongside with the mini Ultra Commander. It was going for sale, so that was a good time to pick it up. This toy might be a little too big, but it's big enough. And if you didn't care about the show scale, this works. This works like a big lad. Very big, ultra-sized commander. I guess the visual hierarchy screws with expectations when the three main bots combine into a bot whose height doesn't stack up to one big bot. Or maybe they're the actual same height, the similar size height in the show, but he's ultra. And I can directly compare the two this time instead of referring to old photos or footage. So being mini, the colors are simplified to two base plastic colors. Dark blue, navy blue, and black. Everything else is painted. As such, the only white bits are on his legs. This is all paint. On the outside of the legs, it's all hollow black waffles in there. And the faceplate. The face and the little star crest. Could have used some in the arms. And of course, he's lacking any sort of red. The red that is used for the joints. Which does give us a nice color breakup in the bigger one, but yeah, that's not here and accounted for. But he does have the orange painted bits. Although missing in the crotch area, the claw-shaped pelvis. And these stripes look noticeably thinner and flatter. If you see that? Thinner and flatter. No extra stump. Well, there is one in here, but it's just not raised. And there's silver paint in the shoulder bits, or the leg bits, and the grills. Although for the shoulders and legs, they are in the wrong color. These should be darker metal, darker painted metal, but these are the same light silver as the rest of it. Because this can only afford one silver paint. And also the main transformational simplification that you can see here is that the chest, the wheels and the headlights and the beast claws are still there, while this one has the one extra step of transforming it around the shoulders. So that's a good visual difference between each of its three modes in the bigger toy. But this doesn't do that, of course. The head is far too small to include something like a smirk, but at least it has the nose, although unpainted, which kind of makes it break up from the main head in a good way, I guess. Strangely, the star is a raised mold and not just a flat tampograph. And the horn is looking rather stubbier, like child-friendlier, rounded. I guess it's just to fit the transformation. And I think the arms look proportionately a bit longer. Like the longer forearms and the fact that his extra kibble bits are just molded in there. Also painted the flat silver as the rest of it. Yeah, just one dollop of silver paint on here and some molded detail here, but it's all fused into his hand, so it's kind of a cleaner look, but yeah, of course, the articulation is lacking. I'm also taking note of the back. Of course, it's not the most attractive thing, but at least there's a lot going on here. And substantially filled up apart from the legs because of the function. But on the Mini Ultra Commander, oof. That is some super weird waffling, hollowed out. Just really skeletal there. Just all sorts of hollowing out on the lower arms and the upper arms and the inside of the panel and the inside of the legs. I mean, the back of the legs look fine, but then remember that these inner legs are hollowed in. And that big honking gap there, because of the simplification, it just can't do some extra twists and turns a big one can. Which, if you open the chest through for transformation, whoop, hello, you can see it right through. I think he's malnourished in the back. At least the side of the torso is replicated nicely. Yeah, matching details here and there. Although with this lower panel no longer needing to house the connector peg, it's been shrunken down and just leaves a big hole in here. It also kind of emulates the shoulder pad at the same time, which is completely unpainted. Not even molded stars, it's just a flat surface not showing his star, his military green star rank. Articulation. Head is on a transformational hinge up and down. Nothing to lock it in even with the panels in, so he can do a big nod. Yes, soft ratchet clicks at the shoulders at full 360. Elbows soft ratcheted. And will pop out with the soft ratchets. I mean, I think they could have just left it as a hinge because there's already a ratchet in here. Anyway, no other intermediate arm articulation. Limited forward that much. That's it. And hardly anything in the back because of the permanently molded skid butt plate thing. Knees are on the lower end of the leg. That go all the way around for transformation. And hardly any spread. Yeah, try to get this in any other pose and of course you'll pop it off. And look at this, the ball socket is a complete spoon. This is a spoon, no sort of cutout for extra range. You should have cutouts for ball socketed arms and legs and such so you can get a good range, but this doesn't have it. That works. Yep, so good range, bad articulation. To be kind of fair, the big Ultra Commander didn't have all the good intermediate joints like the thigh swivel and the head joint, but at least it had a good range of articulation. Like the arms and the legs going all the way forward and backward thanks to this movable skirt back piece thing for other modes. And bicep swivels. Now to transform it into vehicle mode. Yeah, take out that panel, exposing the gap, just put the head in there. Simple hinge here, no sorts of extra waist flipping. Just fold these all the way here so that these little holes just loosely tap in there. I mean, the position and frictioning and soft ratchets should fix it in place, and then parts form the arms. Yes, I know, parts forming bad. It subtracts a puzzle element of Transformers. But I guess in Ultra Commander's case, I guess it was kind of unique. You had 3 different modes, so how else could you relocate these arms all the way from the shoulder to this point, which forms a big fat tail in beast mode. And all the way to the back of the vehicle, so that it doesn't look like it just sticks out from the thing. Otherwise, if this was not parts forming, if this had to be extra beams and girders, that would break under little kids' pressure. And this is a pretty clean and unobtrusive connection point. Just these little white tabs on the knees at the lower end of the knee, so they're completely hidden in robot mode. And these little hinges, yeah, as hollow as this bit is, yeah, it's all hidden in the bits and also out of sight behind the arms in the robot mode, so they're not intrusive parts forming clips. But this thing, yeah, it just has two big obtrusive rings that you just kind of nestle between the bits of the tail end of the trailer thing. Yeah, I guess this thing could be, on one hand, it's kind of sits tighter than this, I guess. I mean, they both sit pretty tight, but, yeah, maybe this thing doesn't look as good as this thing. Mini Ultra Commander's a long trailer, 8-wheeler trailer thing. But smaller. Of course, it's similar in shape to the bigger Ultra Commander, but simplified in some ways. Of course, the front is the most similar to the big one. Although it really does seem narrower compared to the wider window of the big cockpit vehicle here. And at least it looks more color cohesive without the white and the toe key here. But it's still a little gappy, it's still a little flappy gappy. And interesting enough, there is more detail on the mini one in the headlights, just 2 extra circle indents as compared to just the white painted blocks of the headlights of the bigger one. And the side is, yeah, I think similar, maybe slightly scrunched in some proportions. Or stretched out in some other places, like this section. It's more noticeable this was stretched out here. The transformation makes some bits oriented in a different way, like as you can see, these shin guards are in the opposite way from what the bigger one was, like that, so that these two would be together, but these are just going in the same direction because just of how this simplified, it's a knee flip over. While this one was just a simple, well, this one was a multi-panel collapse. And as such, the visible feet, yep, you just have the robot feet sticking out from there. And this section is also completely different. It looked like there were some extra panels to cover up the side of the foot. Instead of the wheels being on the foot, it was just on the side of the foot, so they just had something else to cover it up. Which incidentally covers up these little axe gas tank things. And the rear connecting section looks smaller and stretched out. But otherwise similar, but still has the connector peg just hanging out in the back there. But on this one, they're permanently skewed at an angle. Just little antenna things, little sprout things. Offset. And the wheels are very simplified. Shortened spoke spikes. Yeah, they are still diamond shaped, but it's just more of like the surrounding area was flattened down and only the little nub was raised there. And this thing doesn't have bolts. This thing never had 4 little bolts. So that's a bit of a design reinterpretation. It rolls, but doesn't roll that well. It also has pinned wheels, reverse pinned wheels. But I guess the weight of the thing and the length of the thing doesn't make it a very good roller. Not that a long, heavy trailer thing would need to be that fast. But still. Especially since it's bogged down by the weight of fake immovable tires. Fake hollow immovable tires. Fake hollow immovable tires that are molded in a different color with a larger part. Yep, he has 4 real wheels and 6 fake wheels. And 2 really fake wheels. Yeah, that is really cheap. This is premium cheap. Of course, this is not in scale with the other Tobot Minis and regular sized cars. This is much too small of a trailer thing. This is much more better in scale. Just like small cars alongside a big trailer truck. In vehicle mode, it's not that apparent of an issue if this is bigger or smaller than its actual scale. This looks just about in scale. And you can just put any car loosely on top of it. All of the Tobot V Minis Season 1 and 2 I would mostly recommend because they're smaller versions that fit in better with the chunk scale rather than their bigger counterpart toys that is just on a different scale level. But I can't really recommend Mini Ultra Commander because in Season 2 at least, there's a much more of a discernible difference between the size of different bots. Like Ultra Commanders are really ultra sized. But this is just small just for the sake of simplified and cheap, affordable pocket toy. This does not fit in with the other Tobot V Minis toy line in scale, because this is too small. Yeah, I guess this just fits in with the legend scales. It's like just a big boy in a small size class. That is like really the only reason I can think of, other than if you really like this character but just want him smaller, that fits in your bag. Yeah, but it's only like 1 or 2 of these Tobot V Minis that can fit in the small scale while everyone is up in the deluxe scale. And the biggest point of contention for this is that it lacks the third key gimmick of the big Ultra Commander, his third Kaiju Monster Beast mode. That is the thing that really makes it stand out. And of course I can't do that because that requires extra engineering. So it's just a robot and a truck trailer thing, and how remarkable is that? How remarkable is a truck trailer thing by itself? This is more fun to play with, just having this big monster robot thing, this little dino thingy. And yeah, without that, this toy is missing something. This. And the other big shtick of Ultra Commander is that he commands the Tobot Rangers. And of course, Young Toys would never make a mini Tobot Ranger little robot trio 3-pack. Maybe if they combined, that would have secured them a spot in the lineup, but since they don't combine, there's no need to put them in a 3-pack. A 3-pack of just 3 robots that don't combine. So in conclusion, you can skip this mini guy and just go for the original big Ultra Commander. It has more play value and playability and scales better with the minis than they're just the mainline Tobots, which would be the same height as him. Just one more Tobot V Mini to review, just to complete the Tobot V Season 2 mini review series.